What is up, y'all? Your boy Vuhlandes here again, and today I am going to be finally showing y'all how I go about editing my portraits in Lightroom. Now, this video is by no means for everyone who watches it to do the exact same thing that I do, because when you edit in a picture, that's what makes your picture your picture. Because everybody in the world can take a picture of the same thing, but how you edit it is inevitably what makes that picture yours. This is just gonna be a video for just some help and just what I do. What I do is not the right way. There is no right way, but what I do is not how everyone should do it. It's just a little insight into how I edit my portraits. So now for these portraits, I'm going to do a color, 2 colors and 1 black and white. I was gonna film this video earlier. I don't know, I was looking for a place to do it, but then I just thought I might as well just do it in my fucking bedroom. Who gives a fuck? It's really not that serious. So here I am. So with all that being said, let's get straight into this editing. Okay, now that we're ready. So first thing you wanna do is you wanna open up Lightroom. Wait for that shit to open. Slow, come on, come on, come on. Slow, 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 slow. I got the slowest Lightroom in all of Michigan. Oh my god. Next thing you want to do is you want to go to library, make sure it's on library. Then you go to import. Then you go to the location of your photos, and then you go to import them. So those 3 photos. These 3 photos, now just import them into Lightroom. Wait for them to import. Any day, okay. Alright, so then you go to develop and you see now we have our 3 raw photos in here. You can see all of the what millimeter was shot at, the f-stop, all that stuff, ISO, all that stuff. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with this picture. I start off every single picture by scrolling down and going to lens corrections. I remove chromatic aberration and I enable profile corrections, and as you can see, the picture got brighter, but because I shoot at such a low f-stop, there's usually vignetting in the corners, as you can see. And if I like the natural vignette, but if I'm gonna have vignetting in my photos, I'll just add it myself later. So first I remove chromatic aberration, then I enable profile corrections. Then I scroll back up, go to my user presets. As you can see, we have the black and white, faded, gain, grainy, black and white, and I like this. And usually what I like to do is I like to look at this box right here as I hover over the presets, just to see what it would look like. Sometimes I might click on a few just to see what it looked like. And yeah, I'm gonna go with the black and white one for this photo though. Any day now. Okay, so now all these presets over here I have made using Visco presets. Now they're not my original presets that I've came up with from scratch. I've been working on a preset from scratch. I haven't developed it all the way yet. So yeah, but for now I just use the Visco presets that I made with, I use the presets that I made with Visco. Oh, what the hell happened here? Okay. Yeah, I used the presets that I made with Visco. So they're not mine, but I made them mine, if that makes sense. For black and whites, what I like to do is I like to turn up my highlights a lot. I like for my whites to be kind of blown out, but not too blown out that you don't see what's going on. I'm gonna put that at 15. I like for my shadows to be really, really deep and dark. for my black and whites. So for that, I'll put it at a negative 15. Probably even go negative 20 for this. Yeah, that looks good. And my whites, I like to keep them at a 0. I don't know what it is. I just like for my whites to be at 0 for all my black and whites. I don't want it to be too bright, too you know, not enough white. So I just keep it at a 0. And for my blacks, for my shadows, you notice that I bring my shadows down. My blacks, I like to bring my blacks up quite a bit. So I'll probably bring this up to 75. Still probably 85. See that, and that looks good to me. I like to switch it around. So if it was vice versa, I'd have sometimes, depending on the photo, I would turn my my blacks down and then turn my shadows up. So for me, whichever I do to one thing, I do the opposite to other. So if my shadows are up, my blacks are down, and if my blacks are up, my shadows are down. For clarity, I know a lot of people don't really use clarity. I like clarity a lot because I feel like it adds some depth to your picture, and it makes it like kind of stand out. It gives it like a little strong feeling. So for this, I'll put the clarity on about 27. That looks good to me. Come down here to the tone curve. Now I like to do, when I edit, I don't go in order. Like this is a black and white photo, so for this one I'm going in order because there's not much I need to do to it except adjust the highlights and all the, you know, normal stuff. But usually when I edit a color photo, I start here, but then I come down here, then I'm back up here, back down here. I'm all over the place. So, but for this photo, we're gonna just edit as we go. Highlights with the tone curve. Now a lot of people say that the tone curve is the most important thing to getting the look that you want in your photo, and I agree with that. I usually mess with the tone curve a lot. I don't mess with this like on its own because like I mess up a lot and I don't have time for that. So I just usually tweak with it down here. I use the sliders. For this, I'll bring the highlights down a little bit. Bring the lights up. I'm probably not too much because that's intense. 65 is good for me. My darks, bring those down a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna bring those up a little bit because now you can't see his face like that. Bring those down a little bit, and I'm gonna bring these shadows down quite a bit. And yeah, noise reduction. Although I shot this at 100 ISO, I usually put some noise reduction on just to make sure the photo is extra crisp. Extra crisp. It takes away some of the sharpness to your photo, I think, but I can't really tell and I don't really care. So I don't really care that much. I just think adding some noise reduction looks good to make up for the fact that you use some sharpness. Try adding some sharpness back into the photo. The grain for black and whites, I like my black and whites real grainy. Not too much grain that it looks like crazy, but enough grain to know that there's some grain in that photo. And I'll bring this to 42 because I don't like odd numbers. I very rarely use odd numbers. Like a 39, that's just random to me. Now this photo, it looks good to me. I would literally leave this photo how it is. I don't do too much editing. I like for my photos to look clearly edited, but still look real, still look like good to the human eye. A lot of people, in my opinion, do far too much editing and it starts to look crazy and just like you're doing too much. So I like to do as little editing as possible. This photo for me is perfect. It's done. I'll be moving on to the next one. Next photo is one of my friends just sitting in the car. Some guns, as you can see. I shot these shirts for a brand that's out here in Michigan not too long ago. So these are some of the photos for it. So yeah, let's get straight into this. First and foremost, you gotta go down here and enable profile corrections. Photos already looking better, so remove the chromatic aberration. Go back up here just to have the starting point. And for color, I usually go down here to these presets that I've made, and I like to just click around, see which ones looks good. I don't like the way that looks in the shadows and stuff like that. See, this one I like, so I'll start with this one. Okay, so first and foremost, back here the window is kind of looking like it's not straight, so I like to straighten that out myself. I don't like to auto straighten. I like to straighten myself. That looks good. Start this at 0 because it's looking crazy right now, but we know we're gonna turn it back up. Alright, so now this is what I say when I say I'm all over the place. Right now, the thing that's standing out to me right now are these greens, and I don't like that. So for me to feel comfortable, I have to see what bothers me the most about the photo, and I have to fix it right away. So for my greens, I don't like the color of that green because that's not the color of the trees that were there. So usually I bring my greens down, usually to negative, depending on the time of day of the photo and the color of the greens. I bring my greens down about negative 50. I'll do negative 60 for this one, just to round it out. This aqua that's over here kind of peeping through, I don't like that, so I'm gonna desaturate that all the way. My yellows, because that's in the green too, I usually bring those up. I'm gonna bring it up around to like a 30, and yeah, that's looking a lot better to me already. So now I'm back up, and you know, we're gonna increase the highlights about a 20. That's too bright actually, so we're gonna turn it down 10. That look good. These shadows, okay, so like for this photo, I want it to look intense. I want it to look like it's, you know, something crazy is going on, or just like the mood of it is super intense. And you know, not moody, because I hate that word. It's such a played out word on Instagram. So I'm gonna say just like kind of like Godfather in the shadows type of thing. So bring it down about negative 50. See what that looks like. That looks amazing. I like that, but it could be darker. Negative 60. That looks good. These whites, you know, we got 0 with the whites. And then we're gonna bring the blacks up just a little bit because we don't want to make it too much. Now for the clarity, you want to add about 10. I want to add about 10 to that. That looks good. I usually keep saturation at a negative 5, vibrance at 0. We're gonna come to the tone curve, and we're gonna make that negative 50. We're gonna bring the lights up 35 just to give it a little bit more light. Darks, negative 20. Yeah, that looks good. We're gonna bring shadow up just a little bit, because you know what I do to darks, I do the opposite to the shadows. So negative 20, we bring dark up to about negative 50, about negative 30. That looks good. Down here, this is looking good to me. Noise reduction, I like to add about 20. So sharpness, about 35. Okay, the grain, this grain usually stays the same no matter what it is. What picture that I'm doing is usually 30 to 40, because I like grain in all my photos. I like for you to be able to see some grain. I feel like it adds some character to the photo. I say that word a lot, I say that saying a lot, but you get it. Okay, so now this photo looks good to me. I don't do a lot of over editing. I don't do a lot more editing than I have to. If a photo looks good to me, I'm going to move on from it, and that's going to be the end of it. So for me, this photo looks perfect, and I'll be moving on to the next one. Okay, now this is a photo from the video that I posted about how I shoot portraits. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it down in the description below. This is one of those photos. I thought that I might as well edit one of these photos just because it was in the video. I didn't want to edit any of them because I wasn't super pleased with how they came out. I didn't not like them, but I didn't super love them. So I just wanted to edit some photos that, you know, were more my style and, you know, good for me to edit. But just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna edit this photo as well. This is the photo I picked. I liked it because, I don't know, it was just the right photo, I guess. He's pointing at his shirt, looking down. I don't know, it just looks dope. First and foremost, we come down here, chromatic aberration, enable profile corrections. Ooh, looking good. Okay, so now we back over here. We got the sauce, we got the secret sauce, we got blah, didn't name those. For this, I'll probably use, like, probably not this one, but I would like it if it wasn't so bright. I'll probably go with the sauce, you know what I'm saying? Now I use the sauce preset on probably 80% of my photos, and I use secret sauce on like the other 15%. Right off the bat, this green is looking nasty to me. I'm not liking it, so I'm gonna fix that, bring that up just a little bit, and that green up a little bit. Yellows, That's looking better. This wall is like aqua or something like that, so I'm gonna bring that down because it's looking disgusting. Don't want to bring it too far down because then the picture starts looking like you could tell that was a different color than it was before. Let me straighten this a little bit. Yeah, that look good. Okay, so now we can start editing. This photo's too dark for me. I like dark photos, but I don't like them to be too dark. Bring that, oh, that's too much. I'm gonna do a 0.50. See, now when I edit, I don't always know what I'm gonna do. I always like to, you gotta play around with stuff and make sure you just play around with it and it'll come to you. The more you practice, you figure out what you like, you figure out what other things do, you figure out how the highlights, where they work and where they don't work and all that other stuff. So yeah, so with that being said, we're gonna bring that back down just a little bit. You gotta understand that what you do for one thing, you can also do the same thing with something else. Like, although I brought the exposure up, I made the overall photo brighter, but I could also make the photo brighter with bringing up the highlights, the whites, clarity, black, shadows. Like all these things over here can make the photo brighter, but exposure for me was a starting point. Okay, so highlights. These highlights over here in the shirt, they're already kind of bright, so we're gonna like kind of be relaxed with the highlights. We don't want to blow it out too much, although I like my photos blown out. I don't really care. Like the way it looks. These shadows, I want to bring it down to about -20. Probably we could do -30 because I didn't really do anything. -30, white 0. We're gonna raise the blacks up to about 60. Probably do higher than that, 70. We're gonna come down to clarity. Clarity makes the photo brighter in some way. It also makes it pop. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Makes the photo pop. Clarity. There you go. So we're gonna start 15 clarity. So you look at that. Photo got brighter and it looked better. We're gonna leave that like that. Come down here. Readjust some of this green. Make it. Let's see. I want to make it a little bit more that color. And bring that color out. Now yellows, I don't really love yellows like that, so sometimes I would desaturate them a little bit, even if they're like prominent in the photo. Like even if yellow's like a dominant color in the photo, I would still desaturate some of the yellows because I don't like the way yellow be looking sometimes. It be looking crazy. Oh shit, I'm tripping. So yeah, I'm gonna bring that down just a little bit. Yeah, skin's orange. We're gonna bring that down to like a -5 because he's a little bit too orange for me. Split toning, I don't think I've ever used split toning in my life. You don't need to use things that are unnecessary. We're gonna take this noise reduction, make it about 30. Okay, looking good, looking good. Oh, how'd I get unchecked? We're gonna sharpening 30. Come down to this grain. We're gonna bring the grain down just a little bit though. Actually a lot of it because I don't like the way that's looking. Now with grain, it's not about how much you use, because you can use a lot and it still wouldn't look like you used that much. It's about the roughness of the grain. So like, roughness is on 35, but if I bring that roughness up to 100, it's gonna start looking, you know, grainy, as you can see. So yeah, I'm gonna bring that roughness back down to about 20. We're gonna bring this back down to about 10. So although it doesn't really look like there's grain there, I know it's grain there. And yeah, come back up here to tone curve because this is very important. I'm gonna do about, we're gonna raise these highlights up to about -20. Light, bring that up to about 30. Turn these darks down. Actually, we're gonna bring darks up -20. I'm gonna bring shadows down to about -15. I'll bring it down a little bit more. -25. See that? And you see, the more you play with stuff, the more you see what you need to do. So just play around and you will get what you're looking for. Bring these darks up a little bit. I want to make this a little bit warmer. So come over here, click that. If you click that and then you just press the plus or minus, you can adjust it like that instead of using the slider. So yeah, we're just make this a little bit warmer. So yeah, I would be finished with this photo because it looks good to me. So with that being said, when you edit photos, just do what looks good for you. Don't try to, you know, manipulate and copy other people's work because that's what's getting liked on the internet. Just make something that's true to you, and you know, you'll be that nigga. It's very easy to tell when you're copying, and it's very easy to tell when something is organic and fresh and it's your own. If I see a photo that I've seen from someone else and I see it and I see that photo trying to be manipulated by someone else, I'm gonna know that that person tried to copy the style of someone else. So instead of doing that, just take the time out, because it took me years. It took me literally like probably, I don't even know, probably like the end of last year is when I finally found the way I want to edit, and I'm still constantly changing it today. So just play around with it. It'll come to you. And when it does come to you, you'll be like, oh shit, like finally, like this is how I'm doing it. Full photos, boop. Pop, 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 pop. Can we scroll over? Fuck it, we do one at a time. Full photo, if it'll load. There we go, looking good. Darks looking good back here. Blacks, shadows looking good. Highlights on the arm, face, and back. Greens looking good. I like the way that looks. And do this photo. And this photo. This photo, okay, looks good. Gun is sharp and nice. Still see the detail in the car. Yeah, highlights on the hands and fingers look good, and arm and over here on the face is a little subtle. Hint of light on the car to highlight. You feel me? Just play around with it. Look closely at your photos, and you know it'll come to you, and everything will be okay. Now, by no means am I the best person to come to for advice on editing, because I just know what's good for me, because I've been practicing what I like for the last 3 to 4 years. So what you need to do is just open up Lightroom, Photoshop, whatever you edit in, your iPhone, whatever it may be. Open it up and practice, because I don't know too many people who don't practice and, you know, get to where they're going, unless niggas got fairly odd parents or something. But with all that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know if I should do another editing video. I'll probably do an editing landscapes video soon. I know niggas don't see a lot of landscapes from me, but I got them landscape photos. If niggas want to see that landscape video, editing video, let me know, because I got them landscapes on deck. Let me know if y'all want me to edit some more portraits, if y'all want me to take some more portraits, or whatever it is it may be. I hope this video helped you out. It's the best I could do. It's what I know how to do. So yeah, go out there, practice taking pictures, practice editing pictures, and just put that shit on the internet. Fuck all the politics, fuck all that other shit that's going on. Do you, and good things will happen. I promise. See y'all niggas in the next video.